West Branch local girls basketball coach, what was his name? Walt DeShields was fired after unbelievable seasons, and Justin can get into this. Last season, he was 22-3, and he was fired. And there's all kinds of rumors going around the internet. There's the school board member's kid on the team. Parents are unhappy. And it's kind of shocking when you see somebody 22-3 get fired. So, Justin, what do you got, buddy?
So I can't claim to know Walt well, but I can tell you, and it's been 4 to 5 years since I've interacted with him, but I coached in some summer leagues with him and got involved. And I also, one of his career wins, is against me when I was coaching at Boardman. I think they beat us like 58-48. But I just want to speak to him. What I know of him is a good dude, a stand-up guy. He would share his film via, so we could scout other opponents. And again, just a really nice guy from what I understand. And you look at his career record, and, if he was doing stuff off the court or getting in trouble legally or something, I could understand making a change. But by all accounts, he's a stand-up guy. He's a good dude. He's a great coach. He's put many athletes into college basketball. There's one at YSU right now with the girls, Sophia Gregory, that's playing at Youngstown State, and he's put many more. I think his son was a great football player at West Branch as well. So he's not only that father role, he's a coach role. So again, I don't want to speak like I know him super well, but by all accounts, he's a good dude and a great basketball coach. So I don't know what the change would be.
We had 2 or 3 cousins play under him. Four cousins.
Yeah.
Play under him. All girls, all played under him. Them and the parents all messaged us. I got some texts saying he's an unbelievable coach. He's super polite. He's good to the girls. He makes the kids want to win. You know what I mean? Like, we had nothing but good comments about this guy.
Justin, what do you think?
Well, I learned something.
Okay, go ahead.
So in one of the news articles, and I confirmed it with somebody at West Branch, they are making cuts to teachers that have been there for a while.
Okay.
And they're cutting them because there's not enough money. He's one of them.
So the excuse is going to be
he's losing his job as a teacher.
And they don't want bad blood. So they're just like, hey, we're going to get rid of you here too.
I don't know. But I do know he is getting cut. Like it said it in the news, and then I double checked with the schools.
So I don't know how the teacher contracts would work. That would be a whole separate issue. But basketball as a coach would be a supplemental contract, which are year to year. And from what I understand, at least around some of the local districts, I have only coached in Boardman, but that is a flat rate contract, a flat percentage contract. So it's not like he's negotiating for a higher rate or something. That whatever he would make as a coach or as a supplemental would be locked in. So his teaching job might be different, but the coaching aspect, that should hold no weight on any sort of financial stipulations on the district.
You and I have both coached high school basketball. You do not do it for the money. You do not do it for the money. Let's get that square. There is when you break down the hours, you end up making like $1 an hour. Like, that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
it's because you love it. You know what I mean? You're not doing it to make money.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, you do it for the love of the game, but you also are trying to mold those student athletes into the best people first, and then players and student athletes second. So I don't know.
Yeah, I coached.
I don't know. I just wanted to call, guys. I gotta go, but I just wanted to call in and give my quick 2 cents on that. So appreciate you taking the phone call.
We appreciate you too, Justin. Thanks for opening the eyes of the people.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you too, Justin.
Were you waiting to say that?
For like a long time.
You were waiting
for such a long time.
Inside joke. So I agree with Justin. Coaching kids, and you haven't coached really yet. You helped me with basketball.
I coached 6th grade.
Basketball with me for like half a thing, which was fine. Which
Yeah.
you get really close to those kids.
Yeah.
Even in that
for
point,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's funny is
one season, and then I did
right
a fall season.
Right.
Yeah.
I coached Isaac. I coached a bunch of grades around Isaac, and to this day, a lot of the kids I see, not so much Isaac's friends, but a lot of the kids that aren't call me coach still, which is very, very weird.
Right.
Lucas, my oldest I've coached, they all call you coach still.
Right.
And they're like they're 8th graders,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's just it's a unique relationship when you have a coach and player, and it's a good relationship. And I know why these kids and these parents that like him are going to defend him.
Right.
It
Especially
makes so
if his
much sense.
statistics show that he's winning. He's winning.
What is
getting to the final? They said he got to the Final Four multiple times during COVID. The girls were pulled off the court when they could have made it to state. But yeah, if you are
love to hear people call in.
If you were coached by him, or if you had girls that were coached by him, call in, please. 330-595-1600. We love to hear from you.
Dude.
What do you got? Statistics. Go ahead. What do you got?
He's coached there for 20 seasons.
Okay.
He's amassed a record of 379 wins to 110 losses, resulting in a 76% winning percentage. That is freaking crazy.
That's phenomenal
for girls basketball.
Yeah.
Throughout the tenure, he never experienced a losing season.
Wow.
Leading the Warriors to 7 district titles, 8 league championships, 2 state semifinal appearances in 2015-2020. In the 2024-25 season, despite returning only 2 starters, which is impressive, by the way, because starters are important, he guided the team to a 22-3 record, securing a 2nd consecutive Eastern Buckeye Conference title and earning both the EBC and a Northeast Inland District Coach of the Year honors. He was Coach of the Year, and they fired him.
Wow.
Got to get rid of that guy. He's way too successful.
Seriously.
Right. It's just dumb.
It's so
then you ask why are they getting rid of him other than just the contract, you know?
The contract, I mean, I'm like you, because you made a post, like Isaac made a post, and it was immediately
I commented on our post. Yeah.
I commented on the post, guaranteed there's a school board.
Well, I just asked the question, is there a school board member or whoever fired him, do they have anybody on the team?
They do.
Huh.
There's like 2 or 3.
What do you know?
From what I'm hearing, though, the girl didn't play varsity, she played JV.
Okay.
One of them. I don't know about the other ones. I don't know if it was a playing time issue. I immediately went there too. When I see somebody like that getting fired,
right,
I immediately think, oh, parents are pissed.
Right.
We have seen it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Parents don't like playing time. They go right to the freaking school board. I've seen it. Everybody on the show has probably seen it. I like watching right now.
Yeah.
You've had to see it.
Parents are just the worst.
Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah.
And they're getting worse.
And it's like, at what point, if you have a coach like that, that's that good.
Mm-hmm.
That's that good at coaching. You think he knows how to make the decisions. He has the statistics and the credibility to know who should be playing because he's won. So think of the lesson you're teaching your daughter.
Right.
If you're on that, if that is the reason you are moving the goalpost, you are telling your dog, don't worry, daddy's going to take care of it, or mommy's going to take care of it.
No.
We're going to get you playing time. We're going to remove this guy rather than, listen, I trust the coach. I know that coach is good. That's what they should be saying to this daughter. He's good. So you're going to have to work harder if you want that position.
What you should be saying to those kids, what I say to my kid, my kids,
what are you doing in the offseason?
What are you doing in the offseason?
Right.
What did you do to get better?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you right now, the little kids, like I'm saying 6th grade and down is a time for every kid to play.
Right.
You should not have kids sitting out.
Right.
Every kid should rotate in. Every kid should play.
Yeah.
7th and 8th grade, I still think you rotate in, but not as much.
Right. You winning first.
Winning first in 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah.
High school and up, you win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're not developed by 9th grade to play, that's it.
Right.
Now I'm not saying those 9th graders and 10th graders aren't going to get better. They're going to grow. They're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to get their work 100%.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get better playing in games if you're not good there. And I used to have a talk when I coached freshmen. I had a couple parents call me saying, why is my kid playing more?
Right.
I said, because we're trying to win. Well, he needs to play in order to get better. I said, no. He's practicing. He's getting better. What did he do in the offseason? What did you do during the spring? What did you do during the fall before basketball? Well, he played baseball and football.
Right.
Did he play any rec leagues? No.
Right.
There wasn't enough time. Okay. Then I'm
Right.
sorry. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's just the way it is.
You have to be undeniable if
Yes.
you want to play.
And then the other thing is too, kids, I had this conversation with some parents when like JV. I hate to tell you this, your kid's learning a lesson.
Right.
Sometimes people are going to be better than you at things.
Right.
Right.
And if you want to be better than them, you have to work extraordinarily hard.
And even
And
then,
work when they're not working.
Even then,
sometimes you're still going to lose.
Sometimes you're going to suck at something.
Right.
And you're not going to get it.
Right.
You're not going to be good.
Right.
You're not going to go out in the real world and get a job. There's going to be people better than you.
And then I feel like it hits you in the face. And then now as an adult, I think back and it's like, man, I should have in the off season, I should have worked harder.
Yes.
I should have tried harder. I should have not played as many video games, you know?
Lucas, I'd share this. So Lucas, my 14-year-old story time, got cut in 7th grade. Basketball. Loves basketball. Cut.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Devastated. But he's like, okay. So I pulled him aside and I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you shooting classes. If you want to do it, I'm not going to force you to do it.
Right.
You can play my adult league with me where you play against men.
Yeah.
You're a 13-year-old. I did it with you.
Yeah.
You're going to play against men. You are going to get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah.
They are going to post up on you.
Yeah.
They are going to block you.
They're going to swat you into
They're
the
gonna
wall.
Swat you into the wall. You are going to get beat on.
Yeah.
But you're going to get better. So he grew. He grew 7 inches, 8 inches. He worked hard. 8th grade, biggest win of his life. He made the team after getting cut. Okay. He sits on the bench almost every year, right?
But he made the team. That's huge.
Yeah, he makes the team. Yeah. Sits on the bench. He would go in for like 2 minutes at the end of the game.
Right.
Okay. He was like fan favorite, by the way. He'd go in and people started cheering and stuff. Right. And then after the season, he did not complain one time.
Right.
Because he was happy to be on the team.
Yeah.
He loved the coach.
Yeah.
Even though if that was me, I would have been so pissed.
Yeah.
I never said anything. I never did anything. End of the season. What does he freaking say? He says, I want to play in the league still. I want to do 2 leagues, and he's doing AAU. He's playing basketball 4 days a week.
And it's like, it's so awesome to see his growth.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
It's all about, wow, this kid's getting better. He's not chubby anymore. He's not my little freaking meatball.
No, he's in shape now.
What I call him turd. He's not my little chubby turd anymore.
Yeah.
Like
He's like
it's
5'11".
And I'll never tell him. I'll never tell him. I could like just keep working, keep your head to the freaking
So he's doing
grindstone.
track.
Yeah.
So last night we had a game against adults. Like when he first started, he was scoring 2 to 4 points.
Yeah. Now he's
now
up 16.
He's 16, 17,
yeah,
18 points
like,
a game.
Dude, that's against adults. That's
Adults.
awesome.
He's covering adults.
Yeah.
He's shutting them down. Like
That's
I'm
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
it's so good. So good.
BJ, get out here. Don't you dare comment. You come here and you talk at this microphone right now.
Everybody, this is BJ. He's
What's up, everybody?
Youngstown Marketing. Is that who can we say?
Just Youngstown Studio.
Just Youngstown Studio. All right, what do you got?
So I was a sports editor for the Salem News out of college for like 8 years, 9 years. Walt DeShields was the coach down there when I was there. He's a super nice guy, like everybody else says. But so I have 2 other sources that I reached out to that I used to work with or work peripherally that know all the ins and outs. One of them said he was on the retire-rehire list.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
So what that means is then, quote unquote, like BOE members will use that to throw people out that they don't like, because then what happens is the rule is that you have to be a teacher there. So a teacher gets first choice at that job. Because he's no longer a teacher, a BOE member can use that against them to get them out.
Get him out because a teacher has first preference of a position.
Right. And then
which
the other
never
source
made any
said
sense,
that
right?
A BOE member was pissed off because
The kid didn't play
he
enough.
didn't play enough. Yeah. So that
is from a reliable source.
yes.
Kid should have been playing varsity and he was on, or she should have been playing varsity and she was on JV. She was pushed to JV is what.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Is that speculation? Or is that?
Well, if you said that the kid was playing JV.
But I think there's more than one. I don't know. If somebody confirm, is there more than one if you're watching at home? Is there more than one kid, school board kid? Because none of that surprises me if that happened. None of that surprises me. What else?
I mean, and that's happened. But so when I was a sports editor, that happened frequently. That happened with, I remember Sebring had a coach that was super successful. Same deal. They used they used that retire-rehire thing to kind of get him out, and they had like personal issues with that. I think they had issues with the dude's personal life at the time, whatever, because he got remarried or something, and
they use that as an excuse, and they're going to cover it up as they're going to make an excuse. What's going to come out if that's the case? That school board's going to make an excuse.
The one source that I have said that he thinks that they're going to come to their senses and rehire him because of all the backlash.
Right.
But it's a shame that it's got to come to everybody being like, "What the F are you doing?"
Right.
To rehire, like, you know what I mean? Like, that guy's like literally the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys I ever had.
And that affects your reputation as decision makers. Because you are going to make that decision when he's statistically crushing it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
The problem is, here's my thought on this. School boards have always gotten away with this kind of shit until social media, until podcasts, until this kind of stuff. All of a sudden, it's like this is what's happening. Everybody knows it's happening, but there's a platform to freaking go at.
If there's one good thing about social media, it's communication. Joe, we got somebody on the line.
And parents, like you said,
parents suck.
They are the worst.
That's why I wore my shirt, by the way.
When I was a sports center too, I got like death threats from parents for not putting their kid in the
paper
enough.
It's brutal.
Saying people would yell at me because we started taking photos.
Just going into the paper.
What's that?
They did the paper.
Well, no. So I would get death. They would email like anonymously or do whatever, and then I would get harassed at games. Like, I'm sitting there taking photos of your kid, like to put in the paper to cover them. And there were some just whack job parents out there.
This is that expert that Justin said.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks, BJ.
Yeah, sure.
So, thanks, buddy. That's good. All right.
There aren't enough.
All right, caller, go ahead.
Fedoras.
Hello. Thanks for calling.
This is Rich. I was asked by Justin to call in to discuss Walt DeShields.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm not really prepared. I thought there was a full discussion going on, but I've known Walt for a lot of years. I cover girls basketball. I've been in Northeast Ohio for 15 years now. I do national stuff, and just what's going on with Walt is a shame. So,
do you think it's the school board pushing him out because of playing time, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't have privy to all the intimate details, but what I was told, there's a local AAU coach that coaches a lot of the West Branch kids, and just over the last year or two, been a lot of sour apple talk, telling kids that they don't get the right playing time, or they don't get the right respect, or their talents aren't being used correctly, and now they finally got them in the heart of the right person that has some kind of pull, and from my understanding, I talked to Walt yesterday extensively, but from a couple other people that I've talked to, the one board member is a parent, and she's the one kind of leading the charge. The other board members have no issues with Walt.
Right.
And the impression I got was they said it was a unanimous decision, and then the other board members said, "Wait a minute, we did not take part in this," and now that's why they're kind of backpedaling. So,
right, because the community caught them. And now they're getting backlash from it, I'm sure.
You said,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And caller, you said there were sour apples. Do you think that's players that are on the team that are like, hey, this AAU coach would be better? Or do you think that, and I'm not getting enough playing time and I would get more playing time if that AAU coach was our coach? Or do you think it's parents as sour apples that are saying this AAU coach would play my daughter more, so they should replace the current coach?
I couldn't answer that. Honestly, I would hate to speculate on that.
Right.
I just, you can tell some parents, you can tell anything, and unfortunately there's a lot of parents out there that would value their kid playing more over their kid playing less on a winning team. And that's a shame. But, Walt has, as you guys probably know, he's been here 20 years. He's never had a losing record.
Right.
I think something like out of 12 out of last 14 years, he's won 20 games, something like that. 7 or 8 league championships the last 2. He's going into year 3 as the reigning champion, coach of the year.
Yeah.
The last 2 years. He got the state award that only one coach in the entire state gets as far as character and integrity, a sportsmanship award.
Right.
You can't point to the guy's character as, it's just, when they say they're going in a different direction, I think the community wants to know what direction that is, because the direction they're already in is pretty awesome.
Right.
I mean, I read this over 379 wins, 110 losses, 76% winning percentage, 22-3 record last year. Coach of the Northeast Inland Coach of the Year, EBC Coach of the Year. He had the Bob Arnzen Award, which recognizes basketball coaches who had devoted 20 consecutive years or more of service to the same school, reflecting his loyalty and commitment to Ohio. And then you're cut.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. Well, thank you, caller. We appreciate you for calling in. We'll keep discussing it here.
Guys, say one more thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I think it's important. Like, I have a great relationship with Walt. Like I said, I'm not in Ohio anymore. I'm on the national level, so I just don't get down there as much. But Walt will be the first one to tell you, and his kids, his former players, will be the next one to tell you, like, it isn't even about the wins for Walt. Like, Walt is a stand-up, high-character, high-integrity guy who would trade everything he had and every award he had if that meant all his kids would be successful after they graduated.
Wow.
And that's his biggest standard. Again, the wins happen, like, he can't take them back. But his emphasis has always been on helping young women grow, mature, be ready for life, and be successful. And the vast majority of his kids have done that. And they'll back him on that, and the school board's going to find that out. You can't ignore that.
Right.
There are coaches that are out there just for the wins, and that's just not Walt. He'll trade them gladly for the success of his players. So that kind of stuff, I know the stats and the awards are going to get thrown around a lot now, but just his character, his integrity is second to none, and that should be showcased as well.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks a lot for calling, man. We appreciate it, and thanks for calling.
Absolutely.
We'll keep covering this for sure. Thanks.
Yeah, you too. So everybody, what I would love to hear from, and I know
something stinks with this.
Yeah.
Something stinks. You called it the second you saw that,
right.
Isaac. You called it. Something stinks. Someone, if that is the case, that school board member needs to get voted out.
You know who I want to hear from? If there's parents watching, if Walt is watching, I would love to hear from him. So if
Walt's probably in school right now.
Well, is he?
He's a
didn't you say he got cut? Oh, next year. He's probably maybe he's in study hall right now. Maybe it's a study hall period. Call in, Walt. We want to hear from you.
All right. Anything else on that? Anybody else want to make any comments or anything? We're going to monitor that.
Andrea says one Board of Education member has a daughter in high school. Denise says someone in that school district needs to run against the school board member and defeat that person as soon as he or she is up for re-election. See, here's the thing. It's like you make a decision like that goes against everything your voters believe in, you are not going to get reelected. But then at the same time, if it's a parent that will do anything for their kid, they could care less.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's like you're doing your kid a disservice by doing that.
100%.
You're teaching them
the wrong lesson.
Yes, you're doing your kid a disservice.
You're teaching them the wrong.